Welcome to the first ever GCBS gaming video. My name is Gib and this is a local to global Total Extreme Wrestling save mixed in with 2K18 gaming. Yes, I'm going to be mashing up both of these games to bring an added dimension to both games. I feel like one is lacking in the other. TEW obviously doesn't have the games you can play out or the matches you can play out, and WWE 2K18 Universe Mode, I'm not really that fond of it. There's so much more depth in Total Extreme Wrestling. So while I'll be creating the shows and the 2K18 characters, the creator wrestlers, my sons are actually going to play the matches out. And so we're going to have a bit of fun together as a family streaming account here. We're going to have fun together. I won't rule out my daughter getting on the action as well, because sometimes she loves to play the 2K18 wrestling games as well. So the save setup as follows. I'm going to be using the 1987 Golden Age skinned mod. The skin is from Tog or Fog. I'm not sure exactly who it is, but the font is pretty hard to read in the bottom right hand corner there. I really love the color scheme of this skin, so it matches the logo that we've created for our company that we're going to be using for the global to local, or local to global I should say, save. I should mention that the mod was created by Giandi, I think it is. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Thanks for this, mate. It's a great mod. I've only been playing this game for about 3 months, basically since Thanksgiving of 2018. I was pretty late in finding out about this, but ever since I found out about it, I really love it. The kids really want to get involved with this, so it's going to be fun. I've watched a lot of other TEW, Total Extreme Wrestling videos on YouTube, and so I'm just going to edit out the loading screens out of these saves and this show because, you know, who wants to sit through all the loading screens? So that being said, let's get into it, and hopefully everyone enjoys the show. So rather than you all sitting through while I create the company, I figured I'd just go ahead and create the company already. It's GCB Wrestling, and so I've chose the rock hard setting, which Adam Ryland, mate, phrasing. You could have just said extremely difficult. But you know, as you know, you start off with $2,500, 0 prestige, 0 momentum. I've already gone through and picked out the workers who I want on the roster and the product. So just to give you a background on this company, basically my character is going to be Gibsonovich. Enters the world of pro wrestling, forming his own company, GCB Wrestling. Gibsonovich has a vision of taking his local company to the top, but first has to contend with the Pacific Northwest Wrestling Company. With limited funds, it will be a long road ahead. So, yeah, it's based in the Pacific Northwest, and we only have one competitor in this region, and that's Portland Wrestling, or Pacific Northwest Wrestling. And so other factors in this, if you want to see the product, I've pretty much just gone with the traditional as a key feature. Mainstream is medium. Just a few other settings there. I'm going to have a match ratio of 80%, and I'm going to have a heel-face divide. These are the definitions just here. I'm going to have some storytelling in there, which isn't too bad. I've already got some storylines already made, so it should be interesting from day one. So getting to the roster of GCB Wrestling. Here, the first one up is Beerman Bob Holly. Yes, Hardcore Holly for those who remember him from the WWF, WWE days. I put him down for a pay-per-appearance contract, as is everyone in a local size company in this game. 10 years, $230. Reason why he's Beerman Bob Holly is he was born in California, raised in California. Then in high school, he moved to Oregon, where once he graduated high school, he actually worked in a beer house or beer warehouse. And then after that moved to Alabama and then became a pro wrestler. So in this world, he didn't make it to Alabama. He just stayed in Oregon, and he became Beerman Bob Holly in his wrestling debut. Next person up is Axel Rotten. I don't really know much about Axel Rotten other than the little bit that I've researched about him throughout the time that I've been playing this game. He's very cheap, 130 bucks so per show, so he's basically just to save a bit of cap room there. Next one up is BIFF Wellington. You can also go by Beef Wellington, but I chose BIFF for this one. He's a very sort of technical wrestler. He has ties to Chris Benoit in more than one. He was his tag team partner for a while. And on the dark side, he actually died the same day as Chris Benoit, and there's a few conspiracy theories on that. Our referee is Bob Densmore. Got him for 10 years for $470 per appearance. He was the cheapest ref we could get, so thank you, Bob. Next one up is Englishman Doc Dean. He again is someone who I don't know much about other than what I've researched about him. A little bit of a high flyer. He did end up on WCW before he passed away, but I didn't really watch too much WCW back in the day, so $190 per show, that's a pretty good cap relief there. Johnny Grunge is the next one, and like a lot of these wrestlers, I didn't know much about them when I first rostered them, so I had to do a bit of a background research on them. Though Johnny Grunge, Public Enemy, ECW days, I actually am changing that. He is actually going to be a grunge. His gimmick is going to be a grunge rocker, and he came to the Pacific Northwest because of the grunge upcoming around this time frame. In the late 80s is when grunge music started to come about in the Pacific Northwest. So at $200 per show, he's also fairly cheap. Next up, we got Lethal Larry Cameron. $290. He's got some good mic skills. He's pretty old, at 34, I think it is. He's a rookie. Not really great in the ring, but again, $290. Trying to save money to start off the save here. Next one is Mike Rotunda, IRS. He's not actually going to be IRS. I'm going to choose the Varsity Club persona for him, which he had pretty much around this time frame. The late 80s is when he was going between Mike Wall Street and Mike Rotunda, Mike Rotundo. And then IRS a bit later in the 90s. So I know he's not going to stick around probably for 10 years, and he is pretty expensive, but he's also a road agent in this game as well. So I figured, whenever I have him wrestle, I'm not going to have him on every show either. So whenever he's wrestling, he's going to be the road agent for all the matches, except for the one, of course, that he's going to be wrestling in. So I figured, if you can combine his road agent and wrestling, you probably end up saving a little bit if you had a road agent and a wrestler. So he's my ad, and I've always liked IRS, so I thought I'd throw him in there. Next one up is the another Englishman, Norman Smiley. 3 years, $270 per appearance. I didn't know much about him either. He's another brawler, hardcore person from in real life. So I have a few ideas to do with Norman Smiley here. So next one up is Steve Blackman, the Lethal Weapon, and so $230 per show, 5 years. Hopefully he can stick around. He's actually a heel in this one, and so he's going to be he's going to be in a few stories as well. Next one up is a surfer, Tommy Jammer, $210. Obviously another cap, salary relief right there. So his gimmick is going to be a surfer, and the fun thing about 2K18 and Creator Wrestler, you can actually just make the gimmicks come alive when you're actually playing. So he's from San Diego, I think it is. So yeah, he's another guy in there. Doug Vines is up next, $290 per show. He's actually the most experienced. He has 7 years experience in this game. So he's going to have a biker persona. He's not really going to really push for any titles, but, $290 per show, he's still somewhat cheap. Next up is Evil Eddie Watts. He is $170 per show, obviously really cheap. He has some storylines right out of the gate, so hopefully I don't have to rely on him too much. A lot of these are really cheap ones. I'm not sure if I'll keep around or we will keep around once the other wrestlers come available, and maybe if we get more money, we can get better talent. The next one up is me, Gibsonovich. I am going to basically be an announcer, as sort of a role of basically a mean gene. I'm going to be interviewing and doing the interviewer basically. I'll do the announcing as well. I have a sportscaster gimmick as well. And finally, the final person on the roster is Tommy SEIGLER. For 10 years, $580 per. He's going to be a personality, and he's going to be the company's president. Yes, he's going to be the man calling the shots. He actually did an interview on YouTube, much older than what he looks like here. And, you know, he had the nice blue suit, red tie, so I figured I'd give him that as well. So that's the roster for this company, and I hope it will go all well. So just to conclude, a little bit more of a breakdown of the company. The main title, or the only title so far that we have in our company, is the GCB Northwest title. It's a floating title. Don't have any female wrestlers, so it's male only. D+ prestige, vacant obviously because we haven't had a single match yet. If we go through, we have no tag teams, we have no stables. We have a few storylines. I won't go into those just yet. As you can see, the size, the importance is at a 2 and 0 everywhere else, and popularity is a 3 in the Northwest, 1 in Southwest, and that is it. No one knows about us, which is basically the main reason why we're doing this, is to go from local to global, starting a new company. If you check on the medical, got no one injured at the moment, and so there's no Hall of Fame, no child companies. Broadcast, we have no deals, no relationships at all. I haven't started any alliances. I don't really get into doing alliances, so I probably will stay away from that. We ranked 27th out of 27 companies in this save, so we haven't done anything. I only simulated. It's Thursday. You start on a Monday, so I only really simulated a few days just to get the signed contracts of all the workers in the company so far. So other than that, I'm not sure if there's anything else, so I will skip ahead to basically what I forgot is we have a fortnightly show called Ground Zero, GCB Ground Zero. Now, in order to create this fortnightly show, basically you had to have 2 shows called Ground Zero for Sunday, week 1 and week 3 of every month. So it's just a 1-hour event, so just to get the ball rolling. As the company gets bigger, I'll expand the length of those probably, and then probably throw in a weekly show as well called something different. So other than that, I think it's safe to move ahead in the action. And the next event is 3 days from now. It's GCB Ground Zero, and I'll be back a bit later to go through that. So here I am at the event screen. I've booked the venue. It's Bobang Ice Rink number 2. Didn't really want to start off the company in Alaska, but it's the only one that holds a maximum of 100 at $300 per night. I actually forgot to port over a couple of locations in Oregon and Washington State. That would be cleared up before the next show. Don't really want to spend $500 on a venue that might only get 30 people through the door. So I'm really hoping that it's higher than 31, because that could hurt after the show once all the talent has been paid out for Ground Zero, the first Ground Zero of the company. So we had a locker room incident already. Axel Rotten came to work selfish. A few of the boys out back, they didn't appreciate it. Gave him a slap on the wrist because he is on the card for tonight, and I didn't want to rock the boat just yet. So here we have the opening, or this is the card for tonight. The opener is going to be an angle with Gibsonovich and Tommy SEIGLER, basically, you know, welcoming everyone to GCB Wrestling. Axel Rotten versus Norman Smiley, then Doc Dean versus Tommy Jammer. Then going to do an interview, Gib with Eddie Watts, and it's going to be about his opponent Steve Blackman. And in the main event, it's going to be Eddie Watts versus Steve Blackman. So without further ado, let's get the first show underway. We have the feature with Gibsonovich and Tommy SEIGLER. That got a rating of D. A rating of 46D, which isn't too bad. The Gibsonovich Sportcaster gimmick got a below average initial rating. The old school face gimmick got an average rating for Tommy SEIGLER. The angle got off to a strong start. This angle got the crowd hotter. The performance from Gibsonovich was good, and Tommy SEIGLER was very underwhelming. Good thing he won't be on the show too much. Any worker improvements? There were no improvements in this segment. Okay, getting on to the first match. It was Axel Rotten versus Norman Smiley. So for tonight's first matchup, we have Axel Rotten versus Norman Smiley. Smiley starts it off. Headlock by Axel Rotten. Ooh, Bulldog straight off the bat. So Axel Rotten's coming into, this is his rookie year. He's 15 years of age, though, you know, a creator wrestler doesn't actually allow for teenagers in this, so he is a rookie, and so is Norman Smiley in this. As you can see, Smiley, he's rocking the tidy whities and the black shoes look. Must be an English thing. Irish whip again, and Bulldog by Norman Smiley. Gets up to the top rope, and he's not really much of a top rope person. One thing I failed to mention is I have taken the stats from Total Extreme Wrestling, and I created a formula in Excel to replace the skill level of the wrestlers in 2K18. So as they progress through in Total Extreme Wrestling, they will progress as well in this game. So a lot of them have really bad stats. I think Axel Rotten is actually rated 40 in this game, and Norman Smiley is 54. So as you can see, getting back to the match, we got a submission going on here in Norman Smiley. Axel Rotten is rocking the GCFNB t-shirt. It's actually a play on his ECW days where he had ECFNW. So figured bring that over into GCW Wrestling. Norman Smiley's targeting the leg now. Kicks to the back. Whips him over. Ooh, back elbow. Now, we actually don't know all the moves for these players, or wrestlers, or workers, I should say. So we're getting to learn them on the fly, and we've taken off the HUDs for the 2K18, so we actually don't know the health or if they have signatures. We might continue doing that, but if it becomes an issue, we might have to bring them back as Smiley goes into the ring post. Stomps him in the corner there. Oh, loose chest press. Bit of a slowdown there in the old CPU. Over the top, neck snap just there. Ooh. Don't know what move that is. So these matches, they are all over the top there, down to the floor. That's where Axel Rotten's made most of his career in his life, is outside the ring, and mostly a hardcore wrestler. As same with Norman Smiley, actually. Ooh, that's his signature, actually. European uppercut. Got a finisher on the way here, it looks like. Oh, didn't go for the finisher. Just toying with the youngster right here. Oh, got him in a sleeper. Oh, lets him go. Going down for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Oh, kicks. Thought he was going to kick out there, but Norman Smiley picks up the W. And he is looking good in that group. Okay, so E- rating of 19. Wow, that's pretty bad. Axel Rotten, he debuted his Extremist gimmick, which got an average of average. Norman Smiley, his Fabulous Gil gimmick got below average. I guess they have a good chemistry together, that's a positive. This match got the crowd hotter. We had a 13 rating for Axel, and we had a 24 rating for Norman Smiley. Also, it kicked off one of the storylines, which is, if you would have seen from the first promo, it's the Zero to Hero tournament for the Northwest title. Okay, so we had Norman Smiley. He improved performance skills in this one, and so did Axel Rotten, so at least they're getting better. Next on the card, Tommy Jammer versus Doc Dean. Doc Dean is actually a 2-year vet at the moment, and he's only 16, so one half of the Liverpool lads over in England started when he was 14. Already straight off the top rope, going after Tommy Jammer. Whips him across. Oh, underneath. Oh, leapfrog. Oh, reversed by Tommy Jammer. Oh, DDT straight off the bat. Oh, running double X handle. Whips him into the corner. Oh, what a reverse there. Tommy Jammer, much bigger than the smaller Doc Dean. These two are two faces, but you know, when you have a three-person group, you're gonna have two heels face each other or two faces face each other. So, oh, backbreaker. Extended right there. Now Tommy Jammer, he's from California. He's doing the old surfer routine, the dude gimmick. Arm drag down, followed by a clothesline by Doc Dean. Nice scoop slam by Tommy Jammer. Getting some boots in while he can. Well, here we go. Onto the top rope and down. More stomps from Tommy Jammer. He's just toying with the youngster right now. Into another backbreaker. And holds it there. And slides him off. Freezing. Getting some more taunts in there. The youngster's reeling. Nice power move there by Tommy Jammer. He has the advantage in that regard. When you're playing with these people with their reduced ratings, it's actually much harder to play 2K18 when the skill level's really down. He's going for a second rope move. Nails it. Going up to the top rope now. Will he hit it? Yes, back of the head. Goes for the pin. One. Or kicks out at one. Maybe even less than one. Ooh. Doc Dean back up on the second rope. Ooh. I don't think it's time for a taunt for him though. Ooh. Nice little move there. Snapmare, followed by kick. Oh, reversal by Tommy Jammer. Gets a youngster there. Nice snap, smooth flex. Both of them enjoying the taunting right now. Ooh, attacking the knee. Doc Dean's got him in a submission. Another high impact move by Tommy Jammer. Seems like that's all he's got is these high impact moves. Not much of a top rope person, but he lands that one. Not really should be going for the pin rather than taunting, but I guess to each their own. Oh, nice reversal. And out to the outside. What's Doc Dean going to be doing to him out there? Sends him into the barricade. Breaks up the count. And again with the taunting right there. Should be doing something to the jammer instead of taunting. Oh, up to the top rope. Oh, hits him with the flying lariat off the top rope outside. High impact, high risk move by Doc Dean. Tommy Jammer doesn't know where he's at right now. Slowly gets in. Oh. Quick hands there. I think that's his signature actually. It's taking a while. Another running lariat. Up to the top rope again goes Doc Dean. Oh, flying elbow. Pins him. One. Oh, kicks out before one. I wasn't expecting that. Tommy Dreamer's on, or I shouldn't say Tommy Dreamer. Tommy Jammer is on Dream Street right now. Another running move by Doc Dean. Getting up on the second rope. Is he going to land this one as well? Yes, he does. Right on the noggin. Again. Heading up to the top rope. Can he hit this? Can he hit this? Flying Joe elbow drop. In for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Doc Dean is your winner, ladies and gentlemen. Next event was even worse, an F plus 14. Wow. Dean Doc versus Tommy Jammer. Doc Dean, his young lion gimmick got an average rating. The dude gimmick for Tommy Jammer got awful. I guess those Oregonians or the Pacific Northwesters don't really like the surfers. What a shocker. So they didn't really seem to click and made for an awkward bout. Doc Dean had a rating of 15. Tommy Jammer had a rating of 11. This kicked off Group A storyline. Next up was the angle between Gibsonovich and Eddie Watts, basically the interview. And this actually did pretty well, C-, 58. Eddie Watts basically debuted his Psycho gimmick, Evil Eddie Watts, and it got an average rating. Eddie Watts underperformed. Basically, he's not really great on a microphone, I don't think. And it started off the Group B storyline in our storylines. So that was good so far. The angle's doing good. The matches are doing not so great. And here comes the main event. We got Eddie Watts versus the Lethal Weapon, Steve Blackman. And already Blackman is going to town. Nice reversal by Eddie Watts into a bulldog. Evil Eddie Watts. He's one of my cheapies, actually. But is he going to do much to Steve Blackman here? Nice move by Eddie Watts. He's taking the offense to Steve Blackman straight away. Oh, and there's a taunt from Eddie Watts. Oh, swing and a miss. Steve Blackman into a suplex. And Eddie Watts has escaped the ring. He hasn't won any piece of Eddie Watts. But Steve Blackman, he's ready to get out there. Oh, leapfrog. And Eddie Watts makes him pay. Getting in some licks on the out there on the floor. What's Eddie got in store for him? Oh, Rams his head into the floor there. Another taunt there by Eddie Watts. He gets in. Steve Blackman follows him in and drills him with a running lariat. Reversal by Eddie Watts. Leg takedown. Got a running bulldog going. Hits him right in the middle of the ring. Eddie Watts loving those taunts. That's why they call him Psycho. Again, slamming Blackman's head down to the mat. Oh, reversal by Steve Blackman. Oh, slap, kick, slap. Oh, Irish whip. Oh, backbreaker. Eddie Watts doesn't know where he's at. Slowly getting up. Blackman's nailing him on the outside. Oh, what's he doing out here? Oh, right on the apron. Eddie Watts is in bad shape right now. But managed to reverse it and get Blackman into the post. Misses on the running body drop, it looked like. Eddie Watts coming in. Running drop kick from Blackman. Eddie Watts escapes the ring again. Doesn't want any part of the Lethal Weapon right now. All that talk before the match about how he's going to dominate. Seems like he's on the losing end of this match right now. Oh, nice corner move there by Blackman. Gets up to the second rope. Not really known as a aerial, and that's why. Nobody home. A running dropkick gets Eddie Watts, and he's again out to the outside. But Blackman follows him this time. Oh, Blackman gets him out in the posts. Rams him again into the rails. Reversal by Blackman. He's got those quick legs. Eddie Watts still outside. Blackman's taking advantage. A little bit of a breather for Blackman there. Oh, jawbreaker right there. Nice. Snap suplex. That was his signature right there. How is he going to finish this one? Oh, he's got some sort of submission hold here. Eddie Watts is fighting it. Doesn't look like he's succeeding much. Blackman's got it cinched in real good. Will he tap? Will he tap? Will he tap? I don't know. Wow, he's really got it locked in there, and he taps. Eddie Watts taps. Steve Blackman is your winner. Group C. Steve Blackman is showing early form in Group C. Eddie Watts, for all the talk he had, he was never really in this match, and Steve Blackman has taken control of this group. It is his to lose now. And thank you for watching GCB Wrestling. E- at 20. I believe that's the best match of the night, which is great because, yeah, it had to be better than the other two, I guess. Eddie Watts is getting better at his gimmick. Steve Blackman had an average rating for his martial artist gimmick. Eddie Watts had a rating of 13. Steve Blackman had a rating of 23. The storyline has advanced for Group B, but lost some heat, basically, because the angle was much better than the match. No one had some improvements here, so we'll end the show. This increased our popularity in one region. Yay. So I will make a speech. It's hard to really give someone a great anything great because it wasn't really a great show. But Norman Smiley, Steve Blackman, and let's go with Doc Dean for his work, and basically gives some encouragement. He seems pleased, Norman Smiley seems pleased, and Doc Dean seems pleased as well. So there you have it, the first GCB Wrestling Ground Zero event. Next event's in 13 days' time, another Ground Zero, since it is a fortnightly show. It went okay, the first show. I was expecting more of a turnout than 30 people. That stung a bit, so hopefully next week we can attract even more people. And we might be hosting the venue will be probably in Oregon somewhere. And we'll get this show rolling on until next fortnight. Anyways, it's Gibsonovich for GCW. Thanks for watching, and any sort of advice you want to give, feel free to put it in the comment section. And hopefully this was a good first show for this series. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and peace out.